The latest and fastest growing search term in Google, Mayan calendar world ending? And it will only grow in pace as the year 2012 moves closer and closer. You know as well as I do, that a section of our population will always see the next unknown event, be that millennium change, or a comet passing by, or a Y2K, as the end of times. The truth is a lot of religions have interpreted an end of times in their fundamental religion and they cannot let that go. There has to be an end of times or they are wrong. Personally, I do not subscribe to the idea the Creator created us to wipe us out. But then again, with 6 billion people on Earth, we will all have our own ideas. So how do we find the truth? Well, science will show us some truths, but certainly not all. Anything based on faith or belief is simply not truth yet, as the definition of faith is a belief in something not yet proven. As this date approaches, take notice that people will proclaim the end of the world is here, and that it is only a belief they have come to believe in based on faith. Faith in a religion for the most part, but most certainly it is only faith in a belief they have chosen to believe. Now on the other hand, there is some scary science going on at this future date, in December 2012. We all know by now that the Mayan calendar ends on this date, but that alone is a very subjective statement. The Mayan calendar does tell an end of times at this time, however, but it does not state the end of the world, only an end of times. Well, even in my own generation I have seen a few things considered an end of times. In truth, everything eventually ends to spring forward something new. The scary part, however, validated by science, is the astronomical events going on exactly as this date arrives. First of all, it will coincide with the 11-year cycle of sunspot and solar flare activity. It also coincides with the normal cycle of the Sun reversing polar polarity. As an extra bonus, this also aligns with the 21,000-year cycle of our solar system, aligning with the center plane of the Milky Way galaxy. The combination of all these events together suggests at the least very extreme solar flare activity around this date. What can extreme solar flare activity do to the Earth? Well, at the least it can knock out and kill all orbital satellites that are struck with the solar winds. These solar winds reach the Earth in about 8 minutes from an eruption on the Sun. No satellites equates to no earthly communication systems, no internet, no cell phones, no television, and loss of global power grids, aka, no power. This could last for a sustained period of time. What's the worst that could happen? Well, there is evidence that 21,000 years ago, at the time of our last alignment with the center of the Milky Way, that our moon was scorched by a brief but powerful blast of radiation from the Sun. Could that have coincided with scientists' estimate that all human forms on Earth came from a genetic stock of 2,000 people? The Earth has a protection field surrounding it from normal blasts of solar winds. However, we have had blasts of solar radiation before that distorted this field and did in fact knock out satellites in orbit back in March of 1996. The solar winds of December 2012 will without a doubt be much more intense than that. You may have noticed the influences on our Earth as this solar alignment gets nearer. The Earth has experienced more volcanic activity, more tsunamis, more hurricanes, more tornadoes than ever before. All this is of course how the Earth responds to increased magnetic and gravitational forces as this alignment moves closer and closer. Well, now I seem like another doomsday liberator, and I do not want to do that. I do not believe the end of the world is coming. I do, however, believe that the physical events of our natural rhythms of nature is going to cause great disruption to our Earth and our way of life. We will have to adapt quickly, and preparation beforehand seems practical to me given the scientific evidence of what is unfolding. The Mayans were ahead of their times in many respects, especially with astronomy. We do not know how they gained this information, as the Catholic Church destroyed much of their tablets and records. I do find it very ironic though that the calendar ends in 2012 when we will face this solar activity. Also ironic is that the Mayan calendar was found on a stone tablet called the sun wheel, and has a measurement called the solar cycle. The consensus among the metaphysic community is that this time will bring in the Aquarian age by destruction of world governments and establishments that have been founded on money and control. Then a new and self-empowerment era will begin. If that is the case, I think I could welcome that. But one will have to be prepared to survive on their own without power and communications pretty much indefinitely.